most Americans believe in God as of the date I'm writing this. But some polls indicate this may soon no longer be the case. I would think there are more people professing faith in God than actually do if we are indeed on the downside. It would explain the decline in morality among the population. It may be popular to blame the decline on politics or social media, but the blame lies square on the backs of individuals. Morality is a choice. Could it not also be a problem of people not living what they say they believe? Consider James 2 verses 14 through 17. What good is it, my brothers and sisters, if someone claims to have faith but has no deeds? Can such faith save them? Suppose a brother or a sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you says to them, "Go in peace, keep warm and well fed," but does nothing about their physical needs, what good is it? In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. James talks about the disparity between rich and poor as he explains why our faith must result in actions. Offering lofty words does nothing to help starvation. James wrote his letter to Messianic Jewish believers who were taught in Leviticus to never turn away a stranger in need. He pointed out that even encouraging words from Scripture can be demeaning and humiliating if offered without works to destitute people. James made it clear, faith without works is dead. Dead faith isn't just useless, it's harmful. Consider 1 John 3:17. If anyone has material possessions and sees a brother or sister in need but has no pity on them, how can the love of God be in that person? Now consider James 2 verses 18 through 20. But someone will say, "You have faith, I have deeds. Show me your faith without deeds, and I will show you my faith by my deeds." You believe that there is one God. Good. Even the demons believe that, and shudder. You foolish person, do you want evidence that faith without deeds is useless? Our actions proclaim to the world what is actually important to us. It's hard to believe someone who claims to have a faith whose actions tell a different story. It's good to have correct thoughts about God, but thoughts and belief are not the same as obedience. Consider Satan believes in God, but he certainly does not obey him. It is possible to believe in God and miss the mark. Let's consider James 2 verses 21 through 26. Was not our father Abraham considered righteous for what he did when he offered his son Isaac on the altar? You see that his faith and his actions were working together, and his faith was made complete by what he did. And the scripture was fulfilled that says, Abraham believed God, and it was credited to him as righteousness, and he was called God's friend. You see that a person is considered righteous by what they do and not by faith alone. In the same way, was not even Rahab the prostitute considered righteous for what she did when she gave lodging to the spies and sent them off in a different direction? As the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without deeds is dead. Does James' question about Abraham being justified by works contradictory to Paul's teaching that salvation comes from faith and not from works? Well, consider that Paul also said to him that worketh not, but believeth on him that justified the ungodly, his faith is counted for righteousness. James also said, you see how that by works a man is justified, and not by faith alone. Abraham's faith allowed him to wait for a very long time for his son Isaac. But when God told him to sacrifice Isaac, he began to take action without hesitation. Consider Hebrews 11 verses 17 through 19. By faith Abraham, when God tested him, offered Isaac as a sacrifice. He who had embraced the promises was about to sacrifice his one and only son, even though God had said to him, "It is through Isaac that your offspring will be reckoned." Abraham reasoned that God could even raise the dead, and so in a manner of speaking he did receive Isaac back from death. Abraham was able to do something unthinkable only because of his trust in God. The scripture is very clear about faith and salvation. Grace is ours through faith. The purpose of salvation is to do the work God has planned for us. Another way to say this is good works are the result of faith. It's important to note that we are not saved by works. Works are the result of the faith through which we are saved. If this were not the case, Paul would not have criticized legalism.